Hey everybody, it's James here from the Sawyer Family Reviews channel, bringing you another new review. Just got this in the mail, the Marvel Legends series Logan and Hawkeye 2-pack, which we all are calling the Old Man Logan and Old Man Hawkeye 2-pack, but they don't actually say that on the packaging. They just say Logan and Hawkeye. Here's the side panel with a image of Hawkeye, which is cut in my light glare there, and the other panel is an image of Old Man Logan, and in the back is both of those images, which is going to catch glare no matter which way I put it. And again, no Old Man. So this is all the 20th anniversary X-Men style packaging that's going on here. We see this on the Fox movie figures, and this, and the Pyro Rogue 2-pack. So all of those, it's kind of like that Marvel 80th anniversary line where it had the special packaging. We're getting that same style for these. It's pretty minimalist. It looks like the comic ones are going to have like more of this silvery tone, whereas the movie ones have the blue tone to the packaging, and then the ones from the Deadpool movie have the red tone to the packaging. So it's, even though it's three different styles of packaging, they're all basically one style. It's collector friendly, which is awesome. The pack retails, I think, for $50, I want to say it is, which is not terrible. It's most of the figures in the line, the single packs are $25, so you're paying $25 per figure. Now this one, though, doesn't have as much new parts as the single figures do, in that Old Man Logan is almost all reuse, but let's get it out of there and we'll talk off with looking at these accessories first before we take a look at the actual figures. So there's a couple of extra hands in here, and then these open hand, sort of skinny, if this camera will focus on it, there we go, skinny hands. Now, I don't think these are meant for Logan because they're so skinny, and when you put it on his sleeves, they don't look right. But at the same time, Hawkeye has a gloved hand, and when you pull it off, that black piece is left behind, so it looks like he's wearing a black bracelet if you put these on him. So I'm really not sure who these are meant for. I'm assuming they're meant for Hawkeye, but I'll never use them for him. I'll always have the hands he's got on him. Then we've got two heads, and this is actually the head I'm going to use for Hawkeye. He's got this head, which is from his appearance in the original Old Man Logan storyline that appeared in Wolverine comics, where he's got the sunglasses and the ponytail. That's the head I'll use. The head that comes on the figure is based on his appearance in his own Old Man Hawkeye comic. And then we've got this head for Logan that we've seen before on the previous Old Man Logan, and that's from where he comes into the regular timeline and appears in like current day, or comics set in current day, which I still don't really understand how that happened. I didn't really follow how that storyline went all about, but I like Old Man Logan better as the actual future Old Man Logan, so I'll never use that head either. Besides, I've already got an Old Man Logan. And then Hawkeye comes with two bows. The first one is the same bow we've seen on previous Hawkeyes. It's the same mold done in black, if I'm not mistaken. And then we've got this quiver with arrows, and again, that's the same quiver we've seen on previous Hawkeyes. I'm looking over at the retro style one, and it looks like the same. And then we've got this new bow sculpt, it looks like, where an arrow is already sculpted onto the bow. And it looks like, for the most part, the bow itself is the same mold. And this may have been used before, and I just don't remember it. But it's got like a scope on it, it looks like. I'm not a big bow and arrow guy, like an archery guy, so I really don't know what that is. What, compound string? I don't know. If you're an archery expert, you can explain what's going on with this bow. I don't think this has been used before, but I don't have a bunch of the regular Marvel Legends. I have mostly just X-Men, so I've not seen it before. It is nice that it has two different tones going on here, both black and that silver. And then last but not least, we've got the Hulk baby. He's got a pacifier and he's all wrapped up. And I have actually, sorry, I'm actually holding my camera so I can do this angle. This is the one from Mezco. And this is the other one. This is the new one. And I actually think I might prefer the Marvel Legends sculpt. There's the Mezco version. And there's the Marvel Legends one. It's got more of a poofy hair look. I like the way the wrapping is done maybe a little bit more. And that's everything that it comes with, so let's take a look at the figures. Okay, so here's the figures themselves. We're going to kind of tackle these one at a time when we're talking about the articulation. I'm going to start by talking about Old Man Logan because he's got the least new stuff going on. So Hawkeye we're going to put over here for now. Now Logan, it reuses that same Old Man Logan body we saw before on our previous figure from the neck down. It's the same arms, same chest, same legs. So there's not a lot of new stuff going on here. The only new stuff that we have are the jacket and the head. The jacket is a really nice sculpt. I wish it had a little bit more paint apps going on. It's just all one color. There is a little bit of brushing that brings out some some wear and tear on the jacket, but like this detailing on there where it's like this ring with bits of cloth that are stretched to it, I wish that had a bit of a paint app on it. I know, I mean, these are mass market figures, you're not going to get a ton of paint apps with them, but I think it would really bring out a nice detail, and I might actually end up painting it myself. I do like the tattered look to it, the holes and the torn edges. I think that's really nice. I also really like the head sculpt, and we'll get into that more in a minute. I'll do a close-up of both the heads. I do really like that a lot. I much prefer it to the old Man Logan head sculpt. Two olds. He does have those same removable claws going on, so you're going to have to deal with that wackiness of those going every which way. And I will replace those with metal claws. I'll do the Can of Beams metal claws on this guy, just like I did with my previous Old Man Logan. So let's check out the articulation. Again, there's nothing new going on here. It is hindered by this jacket. It's not super hard plastic, like where you can't move it, but it's going to interfere with like long-term posing. So he's got an ankle that hinges up and down and is on a rocker. He's got double jointed knees that can go back to there. Again, you got to push that coat out of the way. He's got the swivel at the top of the hip, and he's got a barbell articulation inside, so he can go out to there. And then he can kick forward to here. He can't kick back very much because of his butt. And then he's got swivel at the waist, hinged torso that can crunch down to there. He's got ball jointed, I can't remember if he had rockers or the butterflies or not on this mold. I don't think he did. Yeah, there's no butterflies. He's got swivel at the shoulder, but it's really hindered by the coat where it's got the bit that goes over the shoulders. So he can only go up and then kind of hinge out as it goes up. And he's got swivel at the top of the bicep. Oh, nice tight ratcheting elbows. That's really tight. They go up to there. And then he's got swivel at the wrist and then hinge in and out. And then his head is mounted on a ball that then has the hinge joint that can go down to there. Which can, oh, that's going to be some cool picture posing because his head can go down really far and then hinge back up to there. So, I mean, you know, if you had the Old Man Logan from before, you know what that's all about. Let's bring out the Old Man Hawkeye. Now, Old Man Hawkeye, he has the new pinless articulation. So all of his elbow joints don't have pins on the upper bicep or on the forearm. And then his his knees don't have the pins on the top or the bottom. There's no pins at the ankle. He's all pinless. And I've noticed that he feels less gummy. Like it feels really solid. The articulation does. It doesn't feel like there's going to be a lot of bending. Oh, that's really nice. Yeah, that pinless articulation is really great on him. Let's go over what points he's got here. So he's got hinge at the ankle that then has the rocker. And he's got swivel at the top of the boot. Double jointed knees that go all the way back to there. A swivel at the top of the hip. Then he's got the barbell at the crotch. They can go out to there. And then he's got kick forward to there. Feels like it has a little bit of ratcheting going on too. Yeah, it does. That's nice. He's got swivel at the waist. Torso that can bend down to there. Back to there. He's got butterfly shoulders that go back to there. And then forward to there. He's got this piece here on his shoulder and chest area. Like this little harness that's supposed to be where it's for the quiver, I guess. Looks like that's probably removable, but I'm not going to try and take it off right now. But that hinders him going forward just a little bit, I think. He's got swivels at the shoulders that then hinge up and down. A lot of movement there. That's great. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and this went really, I was playing this a second ago. It goes really far up. Like, that's great. Look at that. And then swivels at the wrists. This one hinges up and down. It's a little tight. If I can get it to go. That one doesn't want to move. I'll need to heat that up or something. I don't want to break the peg. But that is supposed to hinge up and down, and this one hinges in and out. And then for the neck, we've got it mounted on a ball, so it moves all around like that, and then hinges up or down to there, and hinges back to there. All right, so very well articulated figures. The pinless articulation thing on Hawkeye is great. He feels really sturdy. I like that a lot. It is going to be a bummer for customizers, though, I think. That's going to be tough to pull figures apart and like switch bits here and there without that pin being able to just push through. Because the way ordinarily you'd customize something like this is you heat it up, you'd boil water, and you'd pop that pin out, and then you'd be able to just move the arm off. Without the pins there, aesthetically it's great. It looks awesome, and it feels like the articulation's tighter, but customizing stuff I think is going to be a bit of a pain now. It's going to be a learning curve, I think, to get those joints apart. Let's take a closer look at those heads. We'll start the close-ups off with the heads I won't be using. Old Man Logan, this is the same head we've seen before, so basically this figure becomes the figure you've already got, except with a longer coat. So it's great that they included it in case you didn't have an Old Man Logan already and you wanted this version. That's cool. I'm glad they included it, but not for me. And then this version of Hawkeye is as he appears in the Old Man Hawkeye comics. At least I believe so. Now, I'm not an expert in that comic, so I can't tell you for sure. The hair sculpt on this one is really great. I like how it's kind of blowing in the wind. He's got the extra strands kind of coming off of the forehead. It's got a nice white wash over the gray. So as far as the actual head sculpts go, this is probably better than the other one. I just prefer the look of the other one. And then these are the two heads I will be using for display. This is how they both appeared in the series that I really enjoyed, so this is the head sculpts I will use. I do like that they gave you the option of having the Old Man Hawkeye head and the Old Man Logan head as he appears in more current comics, but for me, this is what this pack's all about, so these are the heads I'll use. The paint detailing on them is great. I especially love the way they gave Logan sort of a peach fuzz on his lip and on his, there goes Hawkeye. They gave him sort of a peach fuzz on his lip, upper lip and lower lip, and then the darker of his actual beard. So it looks like he hasn't shaved that portion, but he keeps just the chin beard, but and his eyes are really cool too. Man, that is a really cool head sculpt. I like that one a lot. The Hawkeye's cool too. I like the ponytail. I like the glasses on him. Yeah, these guys look great together. We'll close things off with some comparisons and final thoughts here. I do have Hawkeye geared up, and I've got my preferred head on him right now. This bow looks great in his hands. Nice bit of nice ease of posing with that new articulation system. You can get him into a pose where it looks like he's drawing the string back on the bow with the arrow there, and then the quiver just plugs right into his back. So that's really good. So as far as Hawkeye comparisons go, all I have, let me pop this out of the bag real quick, is the retro series Hawkeye. So there's not really a great comparison you can do. I guess this is more just for height than anything, if I can get him to stand with these little feet he's got. So that's your comparison between Hawkeye and Hawkeye. Old Man Logan we can do a couple of comparisons on. So here is Old Man Logan from the 2-pack, and here is Old Man Logan, the single card. Now I have the metal can of beams claws on him, which I think I'm going to do to him as well. I think it's going to look way better. But as you can see, there's a lot of the same stuff going on here. But I think that head sculpt and that coat really helped sell this version as my preferred version of Old Man Logan before he became sort of overexposed, which I think that one more represents. And then we've got Old Man Logan next to the Old Man Logan Mezco version. Now the Mezco is, I mean, it's an expensive figure in comparison. You could get the whole 2-pack for the cost of the Mezco version. This Mezco version is great, but I gotta say, as far as coming through as what I remember from the comic series, I actually prefer the Marvel Legends one. I think the head sculpt is more in keeping with the way he looked in that series. I like the hat a little bit better. The hat's very rubbery, by the way. It doesn't come off. I don't know. I think I prefer the look of this one better. And then last but not least, we'll bring in, I already showed you the two different Hulk babies. We'll bring in the Spider-Girl that appeared, Spider-Woman, Spider-Girl, whatever you want to refer to her as, that appeared in that comic storyline. So you got the three of them together. Man, cool set. I don't know if it's for everybody. I think this is probably more for people that were a big fan of that comic storyline. I don't really read Old Man Hawkeye, so you might have a lot of fans of that comic, but I don't read it. But I did really enjoy this storyline originally with the Hulk baby and the two of them traveling across the country together. I thought that was a really cool story. It was a fresh take. You know, Wolverine is a character that can be taken into different areas and different timelines and different stories and scenarios. and I thought this one was a really fun one to read. I have the trade paperback of it. I've got all the issues of it. So for me, this pack is worth buying. If you're just like an X-Men animated series fan, or just the main characters or something like that, you could probably skip it. It's not something that's like the main version of these characters, but it is a nicely done pack with 2 sharp figures, and the new pinless articulation on Hawkeye is awesome. All right, well, I guess that's it. So I'll see you guys next time. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, notify, and catch you guys around. Bye.